It is 5 year with Iran. Masih Alinejad begun a motion, with united by thousands of female, deprecating versus the mandatory tiring of the hijab, or scarf, in her nation. It distribution on public print and led to unparalleled demonstrations in the gateway, but is it any nearer to reaching its purpose? It began in a outwardly harmless occasion, a female drive on a mountway in Iran, using the easy liberty of sense the breeze in her wool. It is a liberty largest female get forgiven, but one how Iran female include been rejected with the Muslim coup of 1979. Masih Alinejad seized the time in a photo and 5 year ago located it on public print. How was the start of my number my stealthy freedom, a public print motion opposed to the obligatory scarf. It has with generated some hashtag movements, of number White Wednesdays, to number Girl So Fenhi Lab Street to number My Camera Me Weapon. Masih has more than rather than 2.5 million followers and has be a strength for the Iran by the government to believe in. In her volume, The Breeze in My Wool, Masih writes on increasing up in a stringent Muslim household in a little countryside in northern Iran. Masih had to lid her wool though about members of her household. She advanced a powerful sense of inequity to female in her civilization. She describes how she ever requested to offer a vote to mute human beings, since she was ever mute while she was in Iran. Her campaigning has not go out of a cost. Masih, who has lived in personality-imposed expulsion in the US with 2009, cannot journey reliably to Iran for terror of detention. Her parents are prohibited of outgoing the nation and her dad has stopped talk to her. Masih says how he has been fooled by the government agents. Threats are a everyday incident for Masih. She says she newly got a communication on Facebook of a so-known Basaji, a term of a profi government voluntary police, how told, I'm departure to slaughter thou. We are departure to cut yours flesh and email it to yours household. I ask her if she regrets start the motion. Never, she replies. To 40 year they include bin proverb how it is not the order period to say on females' rights, but now they cannot monitoring female this entire by the government is speaking on the mandatory hijab, how shows the force of such female. The response of the by the government has been harsh. With December 2017, more than rather than 35 women protesters include been detained in the Equity Tehran 1. The police force include alerted how female who take part in demonstrations versus the hijab could person up to 10 year in jail. At the end of April, a female was grasped and slapped by a woman moral police force official in Tehran, on expense of her friable scarf. The is not a uncommon incident in Iran. The distinction was how the period was how is was shot, and share via Masih Alinejad's Instagram expense. It was seen by more than rather than 3 millionth human beings and brought above 30,000 comments. The occurrence sparked an world shout. Though Iran's defect president for female sphere, Masouma Etekar, convicted the abuse. How could the treat be justifiable, she tweeted. End of Instagram position by Nilufar, no her actual behalf, was detained for showing versus the obligatory hijab. She says she was detained in single imprisonment and exposed to torment and beatings. An busy term of the motion who yet lives in Iran, she says how via Masih's campaigns common human beings get along to do the by the government respond. Public print empowers human beings to break down censor. I ever say he's not fair on tiring a curtain and cover our wool, he's on our virtue as humane beings, she adds. Nilufar is confident how, for the history year, with the Whites Wednesdays motion begun, female include be lot more daring and braver. It gives Masih large expect to believe how she is manufacturing a distinction in Iran and she believes how actual changing is already on foot. These female are not wait for hijab laws to be remote, they are removal them themselves, she says. On to Shiva Rabaran, a London-based author and culture reviewer, the Iran authorities include been incapable to halt a increasing tendency. With the Muslim coup, all efforts to suppress females' impedance include ironically just intensified and widened she says. Which begun out as a outcry motion by worldly medium-class female, has now distribution to the less than rich, sectarian public breed, that had serviced as the spine of the Muslim mode in the history. The world achieve of public print tool. The question is not departure off. Inequity to female in Iran win tea end quickly, says Nilufar, yet in next they will include to take our rights while each female becomes courageous quite to consumer demand them.